Could some new free agent targets be emerging for the Chicago Bears? I'm Harrison Graham from Bears. Now by Chat Sports, happy Monday. Everyone, hopefully, everybody had an awesome weekend. The Athletic put out an article of one cut candidate for all 32 teams, a lot of big named players on that list, and I thought I'd examine 5 of those players that if they do free up, I'd be interested in signing if I were Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. So we're going to get into that here on today's show, but I am waging war on Jack Sperry and the Washington Commanders. Because listen, we got to be honest. Washington got the upper hand on the Bears last year. It all started with the Hail Mary, but it's time to reverse the curse here. Let's beat them in new subscribers this week. SP's been talking to me for months, and I'm putting an end to it, and you guys are as well. If you want daily and free Bears content and you want to take down the Commerce report, hit that sub button. Okay, Joey Bosa, that's a big name, right? The Chargers edge, who has had some injury concerns in recent years, played in 14 games this year, but did leave a few games early. Kind of like Teen Jenkins for the Bears. Daniel Popper, via The Athletic, had this to say of him as a potential cut candidate for the Chargers, saying his 36.47 million cap hit for 2025 via over the cap. That is the highest cap hit for any edge rusher in the league. This year, Boso has not been close to that level of player for quite some time, largely due to injury, and he's absolutely right. I mean, you look at his last 3 seasons, he missed 3 games last year, and like I said, left others early, only played 9 games, the year before 5, the year before that. So it's been since 2021, since Joey Bosa has been, a mostly every week available player. And that's obviously a concern. We know when he's healthy, he's a very good player now. Is he still elite pro? Probably not. But I still would have interest in him. His PFF grades last year were solid, right? Like that, these are respectable, above average numbers. When he's on the field, defends the run. While still a solid pass rusher, although not elite in that regard, he's not as good as his brother per se. 34 pressures, though. His pressure rate was, I think, 12 or 133%. So again, it's solid number. Nothing crazy. He's not an all pro or anything like that. But if you're asking me, like, hey, if this guy frees up, would I be interested in a 1 year flyer? Yeah, like I'd pay him some kind of incentive laden deal. Maybe his base is 8 to 10 million bucks, with incentives up to 12 to 15, depending on, how the cap hit is structured there. I absolutely would be interested. I know he's very talented. He's a proven player in this league. You put him opposite of Mont Sweat, you probably would expect him to miss some time, so you definitely would need other guys in there that are ready to go. But if it's an affordable 1 year deal for Joey Bosa, yeah, I'm intrigued by that, even with his recent injury concerns. Okay, Christian Kirk, if you want to go to the offensive side of the ball, the Jaguars wide receiver, who similarly to both of the last couple years has dealt with some injuries, Jeff. How the Athletic mentioning that the Jags don't have a lot of options to easily free up chunks of cap space, but Christian Kirk would save 10.4 million in cap if the Jags need to make a splash move. His production has declined each of the past 2 seasons due to injury. Remember, a few years ago, Kirk got that wild contract of, I think it was like $21 million per year at the time, which felt crazy. But then he had an awesome 1,100-yard season. But the last 2 years, he's been banged up. You missed 5 games in 2023, missed about half the season last year. Now, when he's out there, he's still a productive player. He's still a big play weapon that can play in the slot and win consistently against man coverage, has good speed. He certainly would give you more juice than a guy like Keenan Allen at this point in his career. Now, different players. Obviously, Allen's more of a short area, kind of underneath, um, guy who can win in man, but he's not winning with the speed. Kirk can give you some more vertical ability out of the slot. Certainly just kind of depends what your flavor you're looking for. I think with what this offense is right now, I would probably like Christian Kirk more than Keenan Allen because he would give you more speed. Obviously, Caleb thinks highly of Keenan, so, it would probably come down to a money play if all things were equal. I would take Kirk, but if Kirk costs more than Kanan, I would certainly probably rather bring Kanan back. So it'd be interested to see how that plays out, but if he's less than 10 million bucks a year, even right at it on a 1 or 2 year deal, I'd be very interested in Christian Kirk. If the price is right, I'm not breaking the bank for a third wide receiver. At this point, because you need to invest in other